Hello, I'm Patricia Gras. Welcome to Passion Time. I'm here with Lecturer Emeritus of Rice University in Hispanic and Classical Studies, Anita Kiperman. She is an expert on Borges, and she met him, and we are celebrating 30 years of the great writer from Latin America. He's doing Borges. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
My first question to you, though, is how did you find your passion, and what is your passion, and how are you living your passion?
Well, I always read Borges with awe and afraid of not understanding.
Right, me too.
Like everybody else.
Exactly. It was like, oh, I can't understand anything he says. Yeah.
Yeah,
Great writer,
it was
though.
very difficult, and really I studied at Case Western Reserve University, and over there they were specialized in Spanish literature, so they didn't even mention Borges, was everything, and I majored in medieval
Literature.
the Renaissance, yes. And then when I came here, they didn't,
Know him.
teach Borges because they were not specialists in this university. So I read whatever was required in the reading list for the exam,
Right.
and I found it very difficult. And I liked it, and it was very mysterious, but I was always in awe. So that justifies that when he came here, and I drove to the University of Houston, and I was pondering if I will ever meet him or he will talk to me, or, I was really scared.
Right.
And when I got there, things changed. They were quite different.
Now, you met him. He was a very kind man, and I know that you'd like to read something about his personality. Would you like to share that with us?
Well, first of all, yes, I want to read about his thoughts.
Okay.
But he said, in all my works, there is an intellectual part and another part, which I myself think more important. The feeling of loneliness, anxiety, futility, the mysterious nature of the universe and of time. All of this is a more important side of us, I mean of myself. And these are the subjects that he writes about, in most of his work.
Right.
He never develops the individual psychology of the characters. He's more concerned with the universe, with the mysteries of the universe and of life.
And you have a special poem that you chose to read today. Why did you choose this poem that you're about to read?
Because it defines him. He wrote it, in Spanish, and I am sure that there are better translations, but this is
your translation.
my translation.
Okay.
So, he writes about la fama, fame.
Fame, right.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to be, now in social media times, everybody wants to be famous. What did he say?
Yes, and it's so interesting what he says. And I will stop and explain some of the lines. He said, to have seen Buenos Aires grow and decline, to remember the earthen patio and the grapevine, the passageway and the well. He's talking about his old house, last century.
Right.
No, last century.
Before last century,
yes.
2 centuries ago.
Yes. Home with the big patio, well, and the grapevine. He said, to have inherited the language of English, his grandmother was English, and question the Saxon of old. He was a specialist in an old Saxon, the Saxon language. That was what he was teaching. Yeah, that's what he taught at the university.
Right.
to profess love for German and a nostalgia for Latin. To have conversed in Palermo with an old assassin, because Palermo was a very old neighborhood where he lived, and at that time, the early 1900s, it was a very
Wild West.
Yeah, a very dangerous
They were assassins
neighborhood.
sitting in the coffee shop.
Yes,
Okay.
and they were. So he was always thinking about that.
Okay.
It's one of his subjects.
Right.
And the knives and the
Knives and guns. Yes.
He said to have conversed in Palermo with an old assassin, to be thankful for chess, jasmine, tigers, and hexameter. These are the things that he likes. Chess, the jasmine, this.
Chess.
And
The
tigers.
game of chess.
He has a beautiful ceramic, it's a blue tiger that I happened to see when I visited with him in his apartment, and it's on the wall by his bed. And he wrote many poems about that tiger.
Okay.
Yes, about that tiger. And he said, to have known the illustrious uncertainties of metaphysics. That's another of his subjects.
Yes.
To have honored the heritage of the sword with reasonable hopes for peace. His grandfather was the Argentinian part. He was a colonel, and he died in a battle.
He died in battle.
Yeah, against the Indians. That's why he cherished the Argentinian part and the English part.
Right.
From the English family, he inherited the literature, the passion for books.
Right.
And I think that they were Methodists. And so he has this dichotomy that throughout his life, in everything, he was Argentinian, he was English, and
whatever worked for him, right?
Yes, I find out that he was a wonderful human being.
And on that note, thank you so much for being here today and sharing this story. We are celebrating 30 years of Jorge Luis Borges, and it's great to hear that he was just a normal kind of person, but a very talented writer. Thank you so much, and join us next week on Passion Time.